Welcome to the RVA Returners Podcast, your newest source for all things Final Fantasy TCG. Really neat that I'm just sitting there playing Magic. Then all of a sudden, someone's like, "Hey!" And by "hey," I mean it's the 10th episode of the RVA Returners Podcast. Everybody, give us a round of applause. Give us a round of applause, guys. We've made it to episode 10. I'm excited. I'm your host, Chris Adams. With me, as always, is Adam Lane. Shame we couldn't have Drew here for episode 10. I know he is the busiest person on this planet right now. A lot going on with him. But we miss you. We miss you here at the Returners hideout there, Drew. But yeah, man, episode 10. We are back once again. I'm glad we've been doing. I don't know, man. Like, it's hard for me to have words. We appreciate everybody who's listened to us for this long, and the fact that we get stuff every week. I feel like every week someone's like, "Hey, I've been listening to you." And, like new people coming up out of the blue, and this is like people locally. And since we're on the subject of this, I don't want to sound like I'm rambling, but I thought it was really cool today. I was down at Pocket Gaming for a Magic tournament today, which we got dumpstered. It was bad. Still learning the meta, but I saw some people over there at one of the table playing Final Fantasy. Like they were putting decks together, and so I went over and talked to them, and maybe after just talking to them for a little bit, they were like, "Hey, you're Chris Adams, aren't you?" I was like, "Why, yes, I am," or "I'm wearing the wrong underwear." And they were like, "Dude, we listen to your podcast like every week," and it was just, I thought that was really awesome because I don't remember seeing them at the Kefka Cup tournament.
Okay.
I didn't recognize them, but I thought that was so cool, and it was such a cool experience for someone to be like, "Hey, we listen to your content. We appreciate your content." So that inspires me to get to the next 10. You know what I mean? So this is a big heartfelt welcome. Welcome. I got no words today. My brain is fried today. But I mean, it's a big thank you for everybody that has listened. We appreciate it. We're going to keep bringing content to you. We're working on other videos. It just things are busy.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time. I'm still learning.
Oh, dude, you do all the heavy lifting here. I'm just the rambling voice of this outfit. You're the one who uploads all this stuff. So Adam, we definitely couldn't do it without you for sure. Like you are the backbone of this operation. I'm just the mouth.
I mean, I have fun doing it, so
it's
cool.
Man.
I mean, I hear appreciation too. Not to continue on the subject for too long, but I've had people messaging the page now, asking for advice on decks.
Dude, I saw that. How awesome is
cool.
that? It feels good, man.
Yeah.
It definitely feels good, and we appreciate it. So not to ramble on that anymore. Like I said, feels good. Thank you so much. But we got some fun stuff to talk about today. Opus 6 spoilers are slowly but surely starting to trickle out. We've had some regionals across the pond. A lot of neat decks over there. We're going to spend a little bit of time talking as we're going through some of the spoilers that we've seen, a couple that we're really excited about. Talk about what we'd like to see from Opus 6 as far as, for each element. And then, was the new mechanic.
Yeah,
that's kind of a vague changing the controller of a forward. It sounds like just a kidnap effect kind of thing or something, but we'll see. But yeah, with that being said, let's talk about some of these tournaments that have been happening.
So I think we're gonna try to do maybe not every week, but every so often have a new segment. And I think there's been enough currently that we can have some news.
Well, especially right now, man. Like we're in the thick of tournament season, so there's a lot of really good stuff happening. There's been 1, 2. I'm on FFTCG looking at some of the results. There's 1, 2. And then you have Masters events in Japan. There's three regionals, several locals, including ours, and just a lot happening. And then the one Masters tournament, and decks are all over the place, dude. All over the place.
EU's kind of in their full swing of getting their regionals done, so they're having regionals all the time, and even all their results aren't even up there. I've been able to. What's great is a lot of people have been streaming more. So I've been able to kick back and watch more streams.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Meta Potion's been streaming every week, which is awesome. I think they stream 2 or 3 times this weekend alone. Lucas Esperdin, he's been streaming their regionals over there in the UK, which has been cool because I've been able to watch those. And then the official Square stuff when they do their big tournaments.
Lots of love for the Esper Den. We love those guys. Love you, Lucas. You're a great guy.
Yeah, awesome dude. And the only thing that's kind of left out is there a lot of Japanese tournaments aren't streaming. I wish that I could see more of their play.
It's fast.
It's lightning fast.
The few Japanese tournaments streams I've watched, it's like you blink, you've missed the match because they're just like boom, 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 boom. It's crazy.
So the results that I've seen over there, lots of Mono Earths winning. I think I saw like 3 master events, and they were all, I think, won by Mono Earth. Maybe one wasn't. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them were pretty different. I mean, you had the Warrior of Light builds. Mm-hmm. You had stuff with like Kamanot and Zodiark.
You said you had one. There was one that had Heretic Knight Garland.
It was weird. Yeah, I saw it. I was like, maybe he just really didn't like backups, or there was something that he was worried about. But apparently, it worked for him. He ran 2 of them, and he won the tournament. So
spicy.
So that's kind of dominating over there, and then EU is kind of more the same, like Earth,
water, or ice water.
Some water. A lot of mono ice still.
Yeah.
I still see mono ice. I see Toby is still over there, kind of killing it. You got. Josh Freeman Birch playing that water wind deck was the last deck I saw him on.
Is that the mill deck?
It's like a mill deck. It's really interesting. It runs starter Veil 4.
Really?
Yeah, it's a really interesting deck. I kind of want to try it out. The whole idea is like you have Layak to ready all your stuff so that you can Riku multiple times, and then you can also Veil 4 to ready all your backups to kind of do stuff multiple times.
Interesting. So you're just getting a lot of value out of the same cards, it sounds like. Yeah. Man, that's pretty cool.
So that's pretty awesome. So yeah, I mean, other than those tournament results, I'm not really sure if there's anything else that's big that I've missed, but those are the big ones I can think of.
Yeah, there was a pretty big tournament this past week. It was the RVA Battleground Locals number 11.
Oh, yeah.
It was a good one. It was a good one.
Yeah, I was trying, actually, yeah, if we want to, I didn't make top cut or anything, but I was trying an interesting deck. I wanted to build a deck that play Urianger, because I've come to realize that that's my favorite card. In Opus 5. I think that's my favorite card.
He's such a cute card. There's so much he can do. So many neat plays.
And then I was like, okay, I want to play this card, but I also want to play Trickster. Mm-hmm. And I posted, that was the card of the week thing that I posted on there just to see. I was curious everybody else. So I'm still trying to iterate on this deck because I kind of still want to play it because it's fun. I'm not saying it's like competitive by any means, but it was the idea that you give your opponent's guys haste and first strike, and then you just block with Trickster, and they can't really hit them back. It was working pretty cool, but mostly I won a lot of games with Urianger and getting Spicillion and then just swinging under with like 2 drops and stuff because I could play off color monsters. So it's kind of fun, but I think Johnny won, right?
Yeah, well, top 8 Johnny on the spot. Yeah, he there were no undefeateds this week. I was actually the only undefeated going into the last round, and Johnny finally beat me. That's the first time he's beat me in tournament. And shout outs to him, man. That he's getting better every week. He's becoming one of my favorite people to play, and he's playing that tricolor Knights deck, and he's just playing it like just beautifully.
He really likes it. So I mean, I hope he keeps iterating on that and just keeps bringing that. And
yeah.
I mean, maybe at some point we'll get to the point where everybody's bringing kind of competitive stuff on Tuesdays, and we just have a competitive event out of it. Right now,
that'd be really cool. Like where we actually do play out top. I'd like to when people start getting more competitive, like playing out the top cuts and just see how people, Because
the only thing that sucks about playing out the top cut is it's like a Tuesday and
we all got to work in the morning.
Yeah, so it's. I mean, I would love to as long as it doesn't go like crazy late.
It just sucks doing 2 out of 3.
But I mean, maybe if we get popular enough, we just move it to Fridays.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, just throwing that out there, Will Buckley.
I mean, we'll see.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was back on Fire Ice this week, kind of tweaking it because I'm gonna say this. I tried one Tuesday, the one that people are playing now.
You're talking about Birch's build.
Birch's build, the one that sees more plays that's geared specifically against water. I can't play that deck. I know it's a hang up on my end. Like, there's something about that build that just does not, like, it's not my style, which is weird because the deck can switch gears and play my style. But I played it on a Tuesday and I got dumpstered. I think I went like 1-3 that week. Like, it was awful. And then so this week I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it again, but I'm going to make some adjustments so it still plays very similar to the way I like it. But I still have all the tools that, like I'm still using the Tellas, I'm still, using the Phoenixes and a lot of those tricks. I had a great week. Finished second. I was undefeated until I, ran into Johnny Buzzsaw. It was his time. But I'm I'm gonna keep tweaking that. I like the way it plays. It's a nice happy medium for me. But enough about that. A lot of really great decks out there right now. If you look at the breakdown on FF decks as far as top tournament archetypes, it's still mono ice, mono water, mono earth, and the big
it's more of the same. I mean, don't let the fact that mono lightning is not there. Do not let.
It is 100%. It is 100% up there because that deck is still a dumpster.
Yeah.
But enjoy the results, the decks the way they're playing now because Opus 6 is right around the corner. We call that a segue on this podcast.
Yeah. So first up, so there's the new promo that was announced.
Yeah.
The Vincent promo, the Opus 4 Vincent, which a lot of people were talking about on the US page about like what cards are becoming promos and what cards people want to see as promos.
Yeah, and I actually don't mind talking about that for a second. I know I'm kind of plugging this in. And I know I was pretty vocal about it on one of the threads that people made. I'm a big fan of alt art cards. I love promo cards. I think they're neat. I think they're great to entice people to come to tournaments. I think there needs to be some middle ground there because for the most part, they're all unplayable cards.
Yeah, I mean, unplayable might be a bit harsh, but
it's a little speculative. I mean, it's subjective.
Some are.
Like this Vincent's playable.
Rare Una is probably the most playable promo that they printed. I think Saz is playable, but I'm not saying he's like great. But I think he's a playable card. Onion Knight, right?
The
light
hasty Onion Knight, yeah,
that's a good one.
He only sees playing like 2 decks.
But honestly, I prefer the other art. To be fair, and then you got like Bartz and Machina and stuff.
Yeah, which they see play, but they're not like. You're not going to sit at a top tournament table and someone's going to whip out a Saz promo on you and be like, oh, look at this guy.
Oh, yeah, no. The rare unit, I think in a top cut at that point, absolutely. The rare unit is probably going to be the only one that you see.
And the thing is, I don't necessarily, I don't want them going out and making like legendary, I don't need to see an alt art Sabin or an alt art, like even an Al Cid or a Marie. I don't need to see those. Let's get some summons in there. Let's get some monsters in there. Let's get these cards that people play that go into almost every deck of its particular element. And you don't have to like make these things scarce. Like instead of doing a Saz promo one time or a Vincent promo, why not slap a Leviathan on one of them? I think that'd be really cool. It's in almost every game. You got a lot of art to pull from. But maybe some happy medium there. I mean, Vincent might be one of the better ones because he does see play. I mean, he's strictly fodder for other Vincent's S ability or pulls the other
he's
Vincent
a burst,
you want.
I think he's good in title.
He's beautiful in title. You shit on me in the title tournament with that guy. That's the guy that dumpstered me.
Yeah. So other than that, there was the pre-release kits were shown.
Yeah.
With the new promo that we'll get into a second. And then they showed off the sleeves that we're gonna get. Which are
really cool. The YRP sleeves, beautiful. I like those.
Which apparently we get and UK doesn't, and then the UK gets a freeze token, which is kind of cool. But I mean, I think the sleeves are better.
I think most people have kind of adopted if a card's frozen, they just kind of flip it completely upside down.
I turn it upside down. Yeah, it just makes sense. It reminds me that it's frozen, and then when I unturn it the next turn, I just turn it to the side.
Yep.
So it's just easier for me to do that. So, and the thing is, when you have multiple, you're only gonna have one freeze token. What if you have like 4 things frozen?
Well, it's like you're going to a lot of pre-releases over there then.
Or trading.
Yeah,
trading with those guys. I mean, if I get an extra set of sleeves, I might trade just to have one.
Yeah, I think it might be worth shooting over for.
Yeah. So then, other than that, so there's been some Opus 6 spoilers, so we'll get into that pretty quick. So,
man, some neat ones. Some
the first one was Furion.
Yep, Furion. He has 3 abilities. He's a 6 mana 8K?
4.
He's a 4 mana. That's right. He's a 4 mana.
He's on curve. His first ability is that he costs 2 less if you control a rebel forward. So current rebel forwards are Guy.
Isn't Leon supposed to be a rebel, but they eroded him or something like that?
They'll have to be more clear on it now because it actually kind of matters, I guess.
It does now,
even though he's still kind of
nobody's playing that card.
I think Guy's the big one. And they made a new one, obviously. We'll talk about that in a second. But the Earth 4 cost Guy.
Yep.
And he only counts forwards for that, so you can't play Maria. Which
would be kind of busted if it was.
His second ability is I want to say that's the one where if your opponent controls 3 or more
he
forwards.
gets like haste and he gets
haste and plus 1,000, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you play him onto a board that has 3, now he has a 9k with haste.
Mm-hmm.
And then his third ability is you can break a backup.
And give him like first strike and something else.
First strike and brave.
Yeah.
Pretty
Which seems
sure.
really good.
So he basically gets like all the keywords. And I mean, KO and a backup that normally can't be KO'd could be kind of nice.
And it's great on defense too.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Fury. I think that card's really good, and he'll get better if we see more rebels.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing is that if rebels are good, he'll be insane because he's going to be a 2-drop 8k with all those abilities. So
yeah,
I think that's going to be really good.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next one they showed, which we haven't seen the complete picture of, is the Earth Warrior Light.
Yeah.
He's a 6-drop.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what his power is.
He has an S ability.
We know he has an S ability, and we know he has like 2 other abilities. And I've seen like kind of like the translated text of what we can see.
Yeah, and like, something about the break zone. That's all I know.
Yeah,
His S ability has something to do with the break zone.
Yeah, so we're not really sure. I do think that he better be damn good because he's gonna have to see play over the Light Warrior of Light.
Yeah, because right now Light Warrior of Light in our Earth deck is primo.
Yeah,
it's really, really good.
So I think it's going to be hard for him to see play, but maybe he ends up being insane. I don't know. And then the other one they showed was the new Yuna.
Yuna, yeah, 6-drop Yuna.
So she's a 6-drop 8k?
Yeah, she's severely understated, but she lets you drop
She lets you play a
Gull
Gull Wing for free.
Yep.
And then... Is it when she comes into play, or when she goes to the break zone that she searches for a Gull Wing, or when she attacks?
I believe it's when she hits the break zone. Let me pull her up because
yeah, I can't remember that. And then I think she has a third ability as well.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I mean, while you're pulling that up, I think the innate problem is even in a YRP deck, 5-drop backup Yuna is just too good.
Yeah, that immediately kind of immediately puts her on the bet. Yeah, say from your hand of the field, or it says when Yuna enters the field, play one job going forward from your hand onto the field, or search for one job going forward other than a card named Yuna.
So you pick, okay.
Yeah, and then she has an ability where it's looks like it's pay 1, remove 3 summons in the break zone from the game, choose one job going forward, activate it gains 1,000 power till the end of the turn.
Yeah, I mean, that could be okay. The thing is, so your best option to drop with her right now is the starter Riku.
Mm-hmm.
But then the problem is that once you have Yuta and Riku out, you can't target her with things, so you can't even target her with that ability.
Exactly.
Because it includes your own. And I just think backup Yuna is just too good.
Like I'm not playing, unless they make some more Gull Wings that have like neat abilities. Yeah. There's no reason, and this is even from like, and this is I guess primarily from a competitive standpoint. If you're playing Wind Water, and you're not playing Yuna Chaos combo, you're fucking up, just straight up.
So normally I would agree with you, but that Birch deck doesn't have that in there, and that surprised me.
That is surprising, yeah, but I think that their focus it doesn't play like a traditional deck. Like the focus of that deck, they don't give a shit. I guess they don't give a shit about what's on the board. It's just mill until you got nothing left.
Yeah. So, but typically, yeah, I'd say that's like pretty much almost every other Wind Water deck wants to have that thing going.
Because I think that's the best removal. Like that's the best removal in the game.
Once she's out, once Yuna's out, yes.
Yeah.
100%. And then the last one was the newest one shown, which was Guy.
Yep. Because that's also the promo and the pre-release kit.
He's the pre-release kit promo.
He's
3 cost, 7k.
Yep, so he's on curve.
Yeah, on curve.
He's a rebel.
Brave.
Yep.
And he's a rebel. And then he gets plus 1,000k for each Final Fantasy 2 category Final Fantasy 2 character you control, so that includes backups.
Yep.
And then when he hits the break zone, he activates all your characters.
This guy's good.
So kind of like a reverse.
Like a reverse Renault. I think this card. I think he's good. I think he is really, really good because I think he presents a lot of tricky plays. And the thing that really set it off with this card is the fact that it's a very off element ability, which I really feel like maybe they're
all of his stuff's off element. Honestly, even the Brave.
Very much so.
Like Kaya's had Brave though.
He's like the only other Garland has Brave,
and Cyan.
Yeah, but Cyan is like Cyan makes sense. I guess Guy makes sense too, but it's weird that he's a fire card with Earth and a Wind ability. So it's almost like they're telling you, it's like, hey, play this guy in a Fire Earth deck or a Fire Wind deck because he can be good in Wind. But I really like him in Fire Earth where you can like Hecaton share somebody with him, on defense, like block with him, Hecaton chair another guy, ready all your dudes, and just stop the rest of their attacks. Like it's such a, and then you can like get him back with Phoenix because he costs 3.
Yep.
So there's some like I think he's a really good card, and if they make more rebels, like forwards, backups, like if Final Fantasy category 2 gets a tutor that just happens to be a rebel, that shit's going to be insane because then you can break it to Furion to give him, and then play another one to tutor up what you need.
I think if it's in fire, now we're talking.
Yeah.
Like if that tutor's in fire, I think it could be possibly like a new package that you're gonna see.
Yeah.
Possibly. I'm not saying that it's gonna happen, but it'd be cool to see. And then so after the guy, there was that new mechanic that you were talking about that was talked about.
Yeah, and it's super vague. It says a mechanic that allows the controller of change the controller of a forward.
Yeah. So to me, it sounds almost like a mind control type effect or something.
Yeah, like there's going to be cards that there might be like a forward that comes into play and it lets you just take one of your opponent's forwards, or a summon that lets you take one of your opponent's forwards and like puts it under your control. You've seen there's tons of effects like that in Magic. That is such a textbook limited card ability. I feel like, and this is just for me, playing Magic pre-releases or the random limited games I play. It seems like in every block, every set, there's that. All right, steal this guy for a turn or steal it for the rest of the game, but it's such a high cost thing because you're taking somebody. It's like, if it's tapped, untap it and give it haste or whatever, like I feel like maybe they're doing that to make again, it's such a limited format ability.
It could be really good in this game though.
I think it might be a little overpowered.
Just because of how you have to deal damage in this game. Just think about it. Like normally an ice player is like, okay, I'm turning the corner, Renoa, I'm good. And then they're like, okay, I'll take your Renoa for a turn.
Yeah, it's like, get fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to swing through. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, because then what you can do is you can take their Renoa, kill it. Oh, sweet, I just tapped your board with your own stuff. Suck it. You're done. Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder how that would work, though, because are you still the opponent?
No, because it's because at that point she's under your control.
Is she, though?
Yeah.
Because if she dies, she would go to their break zone, right?
Yeah, but if it just says from the field to the break zone,
right,
and I can get that. And I feel like that. I'm glad you looked at it in that light, because Kageyama better get those Twitter thumbs ready, because you're gonna see a lot of that.
I think he's routing people to another Twitter account.
Yeah, he needs to, because especially for something like that, because especially because that's a new thing for this game. But typically, when it's now under your control, so any text it has refers to you. And opponent is now the person who is no longer in control of the card. And that's traditionally how it is. Unless this card specific, like say Renoa said, if it goes to its controllers, great. There'd have to be some very specific wording. So it'll work the way it's supposed to. But I know that's going to come up. It is 100%
I'm sure.
come up.
The thing is, it's got to, like, there's things that just need to be answered. There's too many things now where people are just like, well, one card worked this way, so let's assume this other card works this way, or we have to make assumptions about certain text, and and that's been something somebody messaged us too, and wants us to do, and not this podcast, but it might be something we do in the future where we talk about like just weird interactions in the game.
Oh, absolutely, because there's a lot of them, and sometimes it's hard because like there's times where I get those interactions wrong, and I'm like, really, that works that way? Because it defies all logic. So
like, there's always like one way where I'll lean to, but then there's always going to be those questions where I'll be like, I think it works this way, but like I can't. I'm not a judge.
Yeah.
Because there's
nobody is.
Nobody's a judge. So it's like, I mean, how do we know that that's like one came up yesterday? Mm-hmm. I don't want to ramble on this too much longer. Where it was like Wool's in play. And he names EX Burst, and he attacks, and Zeromus comes off the top, and can Zeromus target something in the break zone, a forward? Can Zeromus target a forward in the break zone? So my initial thought was no, because Wall says all forwards.
Yeah.
But the ruling is yes, because Wall's text implies that field only, just like Shantoto does. So like Shantoto reads, remove all forwards from the game. But really what she says is, remove all forwards from the game that are on the field.
Well, I think it's going to come to a point where there's going to have to be some sort of oracle text for a lot of these cards.
I mean, there's a lot of times where like end of turn is implied.
Oh, yeah.
That just doesn't exist right now. And I mean, they've kind of been okay trying to do
Like
it
the old
with errata.
Cognazzo wording.
Yeah, but he's been technically errata at this
Yeah.
point to that. But yeah, I mean, so I mean, I understand the cards are being translated. It's just sometimes it's hard for us to figure out what's right, what's wrong. Sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So. But yeah, so other than that, we did pick a winner for our contest.
Yes, and we will reveal who that is once he gets back in well, he or she, I don't know.
I'm not sure either.
Yeah.
I just know the YouTube name.
Yeah.
I did reach out to them.
So please hit us back. You are the winner of the foil signed Saban, signed by Kageyama himself. I got it signed by him while I was in Boston. And it is yours. Just make sure you contact us. It's a great piece to have in your collection, and it's Saban. What's not to love?
As soon as they get back to me, I'll get all their information and we can ship that out or whatever.
Absolutely, yeah. Because my girlfriend does direct sales for a living, so I've got tons of shipping materials in the house. I can have it out that day.
Yeah, so hopefully we can get that shipped soon once they get back to us.
And we do appreciate everybody that entered, that commented on the post, and we will have that deck tech posted soon. We will actually do it. We just realized we have to put the starter decks back together, which is like, oh shit, that's
we still have to do that and then get through like tournaments that are coming up and stuff too.
Yeah,
we're trying to find time.
Yeah, our focus right now is just getting ready for these two big tournaments, because when I say two big tournaments, we have the Zorn and Thorn Cup, which is a big deal to us, because got to bring that other trophy back to Richmond.
Yeah, try.
And then of course Kansas City, and then Gen Con after that, which Gen Con's a little further ways away. We got time
between Kansas City and Gen Con. There's going to be a whole set in between that.
Yeah.
And then there's other local stuff too, like the Memorial Day tournament that we're doing.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's something really fun we're doing. We got a big community event we're doing, so we'll talk more about that as it gets closer. That might be one to have on another podcast while we're live at the cookout, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I guess with that we can get into like what the episode's going to be about. So we kind of wanted to talk about like what we want to see from each element in the next set, like what we think each element needs or maybe shouldn't get.
Yeah.
So I kind of put it in the order of things. So, and again, we're just talking. It's like a wish list thing. It doesn't necessarily mean we're right. I mean, this is kind of like our opinion. So the first one I have on the list is water. Mm-hmm. So what do you think about water?
I don't know. I think water has a lot of tools as it is. I wouldn't mind seeing them get maybe like a what am I trying to think here? Like just a legit summon that says, almost like a Bahamut, but one that like just reduce that guy's power by 8K. Like that kind of summon. You don't want to make something like that too cheap, because that's removal that really can't be interactive. But there's a lot of stuff like in this game. I always like to compare this game to Magic. There's a ton of removal like that. Like in a couple standards ago, a big one of those removal pieces was called. It was double black. Card creature gets -4/-4. I can't remember something darkness, whatever. It was a 2 black. Target creature gets -4/-4. Yeah. That's different. I mean, because if a forward can't be broken, you can still use that to break them. You know what I mean? Right. Like, I think that'd be a good piece of removal. Now, it might be a little out of character for water, but I think I'd like to see them have something like that, because right now their removal is so weird. Or they don't.
It's basically just returning stuff to your hand, or power reduction.
Yeah, I'd like to see them have something. But otherwise, I think their forwards are great. I think all the utility they have is great. They have plenty of card draw. They have plenty of card filter. They have tons of fucking buffs.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them have some like legit removal, but I think the caveat there is if they get like legit removal like that may put them over the top.
I think there's a form of removal that they could give them without breaking them, and I think it'd be cool. Maybe like a summon that blanks a card.
Oh yeah.
Not like returns it to the hand. Not doesn't bump any power, but it just makes a card, whatever it is, with its power.
Yep.
It
becomes that generic red warrior.
Like turns off Emperor for a turn.
That'd be cool.
And it's not like a permanent thing, just for like one turn.
Yeah. That could be good.
And I think that would give them more answers to some things without like just giving them a straight piece of removal, and it could be interesting to see.
Yeah, do that on something that has first strike for the turn. That maybe they're holding that back for defense. Like, oh, he loses blank the text on his card.
Yeah,
Swing.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if this would be too broken or not, but like I'd like to see them have a late game card that's not fucking Cognazzo. Like,
yeah.
just a card that they can play that like wins in the game. That's not that.
Yeah.
And I'm not really sure like what that is, but something.
Maybe
Because they're a slow deck. You don't. Because I mean, obviously, if I was a water player, my wish list would be like, give me some early game that's really good.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they should get that.
No, because I think if they have pressure and good cards at all stages of the game, they become hands down the best.
Well, I think that's why you're seeing people play Porum, the 1-drop Porum, just to pressure people early with water.
The card's hard to deal with.
So, but yeah, I don't really know if you can give them like a good 2-drop.
Yeah, I don't think.
To be honest, I think if you did,
Mimes and Knights are about as good as it's going to get for them.
Yeah, but so maybe like something big, like I said, like that's just not Cognazzo.
Yeah, for sure.
And it has to be different enough to where it doesn't just like it has to be something that doesn't have to do with power reduction or something. Mm-hmm. Because otherwise you're just going to keep stacking that with Cognazzo, with Cloud of Darkness. Like, I don't know what it is, but something different. Maybe something else that has to deal with like reviving cards like Lina does.
That'd be kind of cool.
Something like that effect, but maybe better.
Yeah.
And on a higher, maybe like on a 6.
Like a Rally the Ancestors kind of thing. Pull all of your forwards out of the break zone for a turn, give them haste, and then remove them all from the game at the end of the turn, or something like that. Give them like some crazy like Alpha Strike kind of thing,
Yeah, it could be cool. I don't really know what card you print that on, but it could be cool.
Yeah,
and again, I don't know. It'd be kind of hard because again, the way damage works in this game, bringing back like 5 forwards to one turn.
Yeah, or you'd have to like randomly pick 2 out of your break zone or something to that effect. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah. So, anything else you think of on Water?
No, I think Water is positioned very well, as they always are.
Yeah, I think they're solid. They're not. I wouldn't consider them like super top tier right now, but I think they're always pretty solid.
They're always in the discussion. You know what I mean?
So the second one I have on the list is Earth. So I'll let you talk about that too.
I think right now Earth is also in a really good place. I think they need because yes, they have Battle Hecaton Chair, which I think is a great combat trick. I think they need more of that. As I said, they're in good places now. They have Wool and they have Hecaton Chair. They need
and Dataluma.
Well, Dataluma, but like they need I think they could stand for more combat tricks or more. I like more cards like Cockatrice. I think because Mono Earth or just Earth in general is just so vanilla. Having more like protection for them, or so, I think they just I guess to sum that all up without rambling is just more diversity in their summons.
Yeah.
I think, and maybe their forwards. I'd like to see them have a forward that doesn't rely on either like not being dull or having a bunch of people on the board, or I don't know. Maybe some better low drops.
Yeah, that was gonna be my thing. I'd like to see them have more playable 2 and 3 drops, because right now
you got Back Attack Scarmaglion. That's all you need. That's all you need.
Right now it's like Ingus.
Yeah, Ingus and
Rydia. You say Rydia from time to time.
Yeah, and I still run Ursula because I think she's overstated for a 2K, but I feel like she's
you're just running her because she's a 2-drop.
Yeah, her text is blank until she's on the board with Yang.
So I'd like to see like something that doesn't involve that you can play, other than those cards, because it's not much, and I feel like those are the cards people are running because they feel like they kind of have to.
Oh, for sure.
Other than that, I feel like they do need to be really careful with summons in that color because Rydia exists.
Yeah, Rydia, and so does Graviton. Yeah,
so right. You have all these summons, and you don't want to make them even more toolboxy than they already are. You got to be careful. Because then you're just going to run like one of this, and then Iridia, and now you have answers.
Yeah, it's true. That is very, very true.
And I mean, you're always going to run 3 fight chairs because the summon's too good.
One of the best summons in the game, honestly.
And I think Cockatrice is becoming like a staple too. You're usually seeing like at least 2. But like other stuff like Backup Destruction Chair and, even Carbuncle depends. But mostly Carbuncle sees play like outside of like a mainstay Earth deck.
Yeah, Carbuncle's for Earth Splash into deck with little guys. just to really get full advantage of that.
Yeah. So, I mean, other than that, I'd be careful with Warrior of Lights, too. I know.
They don't need any more of those.
I think it's a good thing that the new Warrior of Light is named Warrior of Light.
Yes.
Because if they print another Warrior of Light that's not named what the cards already have...
Unless this goofy son of a bitch's text says Warrior of Light is now multi-card.
Yeah.
Ouch.
I doubt it, but yeah.
That'd be busted. That motherfucker better... If they do something like that where they take a unique name and make it multi-card, that bastard better cost like 10 or something, because that would be incredibly powerful.
Yeah. Other than that, for Earth, monsters that are good, maybe?
I don't know. I maybe, because I think they could stand maybe one or two that don't suck.
Because, like, I mean...
Every other color has playable monsters.
People are running Bonga Thief just because it's Earth and it costs 2. Like, I'd like to see, like, a monster that actually does something. I mean, Hellgigas is okay, but it's very narrow what it does.
Magic Pot's about the only one, really.
And even then, people aren't really playing it because it's only good, like, very particular decks, and even the decks that are good won't run it too because they don't need it, you know?
Yeah, so it sounds like what we're saying, like, Earth could use a lot of things, but they have to be very careful with what they make.
Oh, I mean, I think they have to tread lightly on a lot of these elements.
Yeah.
Even water, too. Like, we just talked about water, but I think they got to tread lightly, and with that, I mean, lightning's the next element.
Lightning doesn't need shit. They don't need anything. They don't need. There needs to be no purple in this next set. They don't need a damn thing.
As much as I hate to say it, more 13 lightning cards would be nice. Like, I feel like, and maybe it's not a good thing, I don't know, but like, people are running McQueen, and that card sucks.
Yeah.
And the only reason they're running that card is because 5-drop lightning exists.
Yeah.
And then you got people running, like, some deck. I mean, Twilight Odin is fine, but he costs 4. That can be kind of expensive. Rigetti is good, but how long is he going to stay on the field? And then you have, like, all these versions of lightning, but you don't care about those. You just want to play the 5-drop. So I don't know.
Yeah. I'd like to see them maybe have a lightning that can, and maybe there is one because I just don't pay attention to that color. Like, have a lightning from, like, Lightning Returns that can kind of, like switch with itself on the field. You know what I mean? Like, this one's in play, you can replace it with another one at any time. You know what I mean?
That would be really good.
Yeah, like something like that. Like, but it has to be... she can only do it while she's attacking or something like that.
Okay, yeah,
like,
I guess
lightning attacks, you return that one to your hand, and you play the one, you replace it with one.
Okay.
And then you get its ETB trigger, you get everything. Like, it's not a nest ability, it's just like when lightning attacks, you may return it to your hand and replace it with another. Because I think that'd be really neat, like, just to be thematic with, like, the way she played in Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns.
Yeah. And then I kind of hope that they give us a card that gives us a reason to run something other than what we're running now in Lightning. Like I said, I don't know what that is.
Yeah. I don't have a dog in this fight, so this is all you.
Well, I mean, I play Lightning a little bit, but I wouldn't say it's like my favorite element by far. But I mean, I'll play it if I think it's good, you know. Matt's more of like the Lightning player. Like he likes a lot of the cards.
Yeah.
But like, give me a reason to like not play Alcid, you know.
Yeah. That card, as long as that card is not banned in tournaments, he will see play.
Oh yeah, I mean he's a good card, but like give me a lightning archetype that doesn't involve him. Like deter me from playing him. Like give me a deck that deters me from putting that in my deck.
Yep.
And I feel like anytime
the 8 other cards that go with him.
Yeah, anytime I build anything with lightning in it, and I'm putting a deck together because it like fits a theme that I want to play, like for a Tuesday or something, and it has lightning in it, I'm like, how can I fit Alcid in here? Because it just doesn't make sense to not have it.
And here's the thing with lightning. And this is again me not being a fan of the element, but for people that play it, there's a reason to play it. It's good. The cards are good.
Yeah.
But when you build a lightning deck, you're building a 40 card deck because 10 cards are already spoken for because of
more than 10, honestly.
And Onion Knights and Aluas now.
Even more than 10.
Yeah.
Like so. I mean, we'll go into it. I mean, we're only like 40 minutes in right now, so we got time. You start making a lightning deck, right? Alcid 3 off the top, right? Alua 3 off the top. Onion Knight 3 off the top.
You're at 9.
Maybe 2 if you really want to do that, but most of the time that's 3. So there you go. That's 9 cards.
And you got Gramus.
You're usually at least running 2 more Alcid targets at that point.
Yep. So Regalia.
You got Regalia, you got Hildebrand, you got Black Waltz. Those are usually your go-tos.
Yep.
I'd say most common right now is to run all that plus 2 Hildebrand plus 2 Regalia.
Yeah.
But let's just say you're only pushed to 2, so that's 11 cards,
yep.
right? Now you go to backups, 3 Lulus. Mm-hmm. That's in there, 100%. Mm-hmm. That's 14 cards. Scholar is, yep. I think you're dumb if you don't run that card right now.
And Red Mage.
And Red Mage, that's 6 more cards.
Yep.
So that's 20.
So you're building a 30-card deck, but then you're running Chicken Lightning.
More than likely. I think there can be builds without her. Mm-hmm. But like those are the core cards of your deck, and then at that point you're like, do I want to be faster or do I want to be a little bit slower? So at that point, okay, I want to be faster.
Oh no, there's 3 cards you forgot. 7-drop Odin.
Oh yes, yeah, 3 7-drop Odins, 100%. And then, at 3 Adia. Yeah, those are always in too. And then after that, you're like, okay, do I want to go slower? Do I put Zemus in? Do I want to go faster? Hildebrand, Lightning.
Yeah.
13 cards. And then at that point, you kind of like, most of the other stuff kind of like falls into place too. So, I mean, really, most of your deck's kind of done for you if you're trying to be competitive with it.
So pretty much Lightning just needs to have the cards to create a whole new archetype.
That's what I'm saying. I think there needs to be a card that's powerful, mm-hmm. that deters you from playing cards that are powerful right now.
So Lightning so what it sounds like is Lightning just needs a set of, there needs to be a set, a focus in this set or in a set that says, hey, play all these cards together. That old shit, it's old shit. Get it out of here.
I don't know. It's like, and this is just me like talking on my ass. I don't design cards. I'm not a balance expert, but I mean, I can test them and tell you if they're broken after we're playing them and after the set comes out. But I'm not like the type of person that's gonna sit there and figure out how to balance everything. But like maybe something that's like if you play 4 drops or something like. Mm-hmm. It's bad, you know? Yeah. I don't know.
Something that you said that will deter you from playing these cards that are just the same old. No, I get it. I 100% get it.
I think their summons are fine.
Oh, yeah.
I think their backups are pretty good.
Mm-hmm. They're diverse enough, too. Yeah. They all do, distinctly different things.
So, I think they need, like you said, like maybe it's a whole new archetype. Mm-hmm. And I think it has to deter you from playing what's being currently played.
Oh, I agree. It
can't just fit in. It can't be powerful and just fit in with what they already have, because then it's just going to become worse.
Yep.
So after Lightning is another culprit, I guess. So Ice.
They got plenty of discard. They have plenty of dull. Do they really need anything else right now? Maybe some more. Now, granted, last set they got a powerful finisher. I wouldn't mind them getting forwards that maybe are on curve but don't do what Ice necessarily does. Like I want to see more Ice cards like Rare Squall, where Rare Laguna. I want to see more cards like that for Ice.
Okay.
Maybe a category like kind of like how 6 really meshes together in that category. Like give us some cards in that category that play really well together that give Ice a new theme. Very similar, I guess, similar to what we were talking about with Lightning.
I think it's about the same for me too. It's like I think there needs to be something that's still playable, but that deters you from playing what Ice plays now. Because if you keep adding to that, it's just going to be worse.
Yeah.
Like they got Orphan, they got Doom Train out of Opus 5, and they just kind of didn't look back. Thaumaturge too. Yep. I mean, there's a lot. Thaumaturge. Yeah, that's.
And then before that, they got the best damn engine in the game.
I mean, 4 killed it. 4 knocked it out of the park for them. Mm-hmm. Like giving them Setzer, Celis, Locke, Gestal and Sid.
Yep.
Flan.
Yep.
So really kind of just push the archetype all the way over.
Really dumb cards.
So I mean, I'm not really sure because it kind of like all the stuff that like Ice wants to do. I feel like that deck does enough of it, and if you give it something else, so that deck can just take it and go with it.
Yeah, it doesn't need anything else like that. I think I like to see them do more with maybe like Final Fantasy VIII or something like that.
I don't think 8's kind of queued up to be in the set.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Yeah.
Um,
Or something like that with a category. Like I want to see, and this is just overall in the game. I'd like to see more category synergy, and that's just me because I'm a big tribal guy.
I'm
but
with you
I
on
think,
that. That's why I liked we played the game we played versus system.
Right.
I like that. I like my decks never overlapped. Right.
Yeah.
I hate that. That's one thing I hate about this game, and it's not that I like really hate it because I love the game a lot. But when I build a deck, because I mean I keep my playsets and then I just kind of go about the rest of the business. Like I just get rid of the rest of the cards. So once I have my playset, that's it. But if I want to run like 2 different lightning decks, like say I want to have lightning ice and I want to have lightning, well, guess what?
Yep.
Alcid's in both. So now I gotta like unsleeve Alcid, put him in the other sleeve, put him in the other deck, shuffle it up. Now I got since I'm running Alcid, I gotta run these other 9 cards that are in the lightning deck. Let me take those out, put these in. But when I was playing versus, like it was never like that because I was like I got my Titans deck. I got the only overlapping cards were like commons usually.
Yeah, or like the universal rares like Savage Beatdowns and things like that.
Yeah, and even then, like those didn't need to be in every deck.
Yeah.
But I mean, there were some cards, but it was usually like 3 or 4. But if I want to have a lightning deck and an ice lightning deck, it's like half the deck has to come out.
Pretty much, and then God forbid you have mono ice on top of that because that's
So.
Like there was a while where I had all my decks in the same sleeves. I was like, well, I've got this box full of cards. It's actually 5 decks. I just have to shuffle it back together.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's smart, but then I don't want to confuse myself. Like,
I did.
What was in this deck? Yep. Oh, shit. So
yeah, it was awful. It was awful. So I've just landed on 3 distinctly different decks. But I agree. I think shaking up the archetypes in general, I think, is what needs to happen, especially with Ice and Lightning, because they're just so. They're vanilla in the sense that they've been doing the same thing since day one, but they do it so fucking well.
Yeah.
That it's frightening if they keep adding to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then so the next couple are the ones that I think probably need the most help. So first up is Wind.
I think Wind I thought about this a while ago, and I'm glad we brought this back. It jogged my memory. I'd like to see them have built better summons. But I'd like to see Wind cards have, like, alternate casting costs. Like, instead of paying, like, the CP, dull any combination of backups and forwards to play this summon or something. You know what I mean? Because
like instead of paying for CP, you can do this.
Yes, and that's because you have so much shit to ready your guys anyway. Like, being able to take advantage of these alternate casting costs and be able to, I think it would make some really unique deck construction. Cool. Yeah. Like give those guys alternate casting costs for some cards, but also be able to like ready the stuff in the same set. You know what I mean? Like I think that'd be really neat. Yeah, you could essentially be making the cards free, but Wind already kind of does that anyway. Just they have no power behind it, and I'd like to see them get some of that because it wouldn't put them over the top. Because it's all still dead to a Shantoto. But being able to have like a legit playable summon, and the thing is, and you can maybe creep those because you could normally it costs 6 CP or something, but if you dull 4 forwards, you can do that instead of paying its casting cost. You know what I mean? Something like that.
I wonder how broken it would be to have a summon that cancels an auto ability.
I don't know. Like a negate kind of card. Yeah,
I mean, like you stole or what 7 does, but on a summon.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Make it cost a couple. Make it cost, or
I feel in addition 4 would be fair.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'd have to like really sit down and test it to see if it's unfair. Obviously, the thing you're trying to hit is Shantoto.
Yeah,
like that's
do that, but you have to dull like 3 forwards. Like it's either cost 6 or dull 3 forwards to do it, or 4 forwards. Like I think if anything, Wind could benefit from something like that, more counterplay, and alternate casting costs for summons.
Yeah,
I think it'd be neat.
I'd like to see a good Alexander.
Yeah.
Just one. Mm-hmm. I mean, the Opus 4 one is playable, and both Opus 4 ones are playable, but they're like pretty narrow in what they do. Like one only hits things 9k or above, and has a burst, but it costs 5, which is a lot.
You know what I don't want to see? A Maria forward, because it'll never see play.
Oh, it'll happen. It's going to happen in the set. I'll bet money on it.
As long as it's not Wind, it will be.
It probably will be. I mean, but it might not be. But it more than likely will be. And yeah, it won't probably.
Unless it has the same effect on a body, which would make it exponentially better.
I don't know about that in this game though, because with the summons, I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's a backup, it's a little different. Like an Anthem on a forward, I feel like is weaker than an Anthem on a backup.
Fair. It's because you can remove.
It's just easier to remove, and then now your guys are 1,000 less because I removed that guy.
Yeah, which can make combat awkward.
Yeah. So
true.
It just depends. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to like a summon on a forward that like gets instant value, 100%. Other than that, like maybe like a real piece of removal that's not chaos. Because when I'm like when I was trying to make mono wins, I had that video that I made, and I also like tried to play some mono win stuff on Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, I don't want to run chaos because like I don't want to run that risk of like breaking their stuff and they get to play something.
They get to play something better, or just replace it with the same card I just removed.
But the more I played it, I'm like, they need it.
Yeah.
Because they don't have shit else.
Nope.
Their best other piece of removal is Dorgan.
Yeah, or Diabolos, but it's so narrow.
Yeah, but it only hits 5 drops, and then a 4 drop after you've hit it, like, and you're paying 5 for that. But I guess technically you can ready your backups and shit. But
yeah, but at that point it's just getting so janky.
Yeah, I don't know, like maybe like a 4 cost that does just like what Odin does. You just kill a 4 or less or something.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Something like that. I don't know. But maybe they have to tweak it a little bit better to be something that like Wind would play. I'm not sure, but I feel like that's a big issue they have because when I would play and test the mono Wind stuff when I was trying to figure out like what to do for that Blitztech video, I was just like, yeah, you have to run removal as much as you don't want to. You have to run this, even though it doesn't feel great.
Oh yeah,
because they don't have any other answers.
It's rough. It's rough. Wind needs a lot of help.
I mean, they do got to be careful with some stuff because it is a pretty good splash element.
Yeah.
And I mean,
they need to make wind cards that are focused solely on wind, that entice you to play.
Bartz is a good example of that.
Yes.
5-drop Bartz.
Yeah, they need more cards like that. Like that's the big thing.
I'd even say Kane Senna, that whole thing is an incentive to play wind.
Oh, for sure.
But they need more.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So the last main element is fire, which obviously probably needs the most help of anything.
Well, if these rebel cards are any indication, they're definitely getting it. I think the big thing that they need is they need a way to be able to. Now, granted, and this is the line they have to toe. If they get a card that allows them to easily deal with Minwoo, I think Fire could potentially take over the game. There's a lot of gut check cards for this element because they just have all this ping and all this burn. A lot of times if you slam a Minwoo, Fire just kind of loses.
Even Dodaluma gives them trouble though too.
Yeah, true. Because you ping something you ping Dodaluma, it's like cool.
Usually you're choosing him and you're
doing damage. Yeah. But this guy and this Furion give them like some really neat combat tricks, and I think I think that kind of lines up well with cards like Marsh and Garland and Faulkner. They have some neat combat tricks that they can do, but they don't have the tools to really make it a like. I think Fire could easily be a control element. They've got great pieces of removal. A lot of their forwards do combat things like Saban. Saban is a piece of removal. Is a forward that you have to kill him when he's not attacking, because the minute he goes attacking, he's not dying at all. Then you have guys like Zonde that sit on the board. All right, go ahead and remove. I'll sit here and block with him. You need to remove him, and then he's going to kill something on the way out. Like Fire by all rights should be that Cyan is a piece of removal. Like, by all rights, Fire should be a control element, but they just don't do it well.
It's because it's too... What they... Like, their removals, outside of the ones that see play, like Saban, shit like that, is expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Bahamut costs 9 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
And that 4 cost Bahamut might not necessarily hit everything.
Yep.
I mean, I think it's a good card.
Mm-hmm.
It just might not hit everything. They're trying to push, like, this Ifrit stuff, but, like, none of the Ifrits are just, like, so great that you feel like you have to run it.
Well, I think what they could do, like they couldn't give you the ability to play an Ifrit deck if they made like an Ifrit monster, like a monster or a forward or something like that, where he can tutor up Ifrits, he can do something like really like making some sort of like Ifrit tribal control theme deck. Something could be neat. But I think they're gonna get some kind of some sort of like cohesioncy, if that's even a word. So
I don't think so.
But it sounds great.
Yeah.
It's like Scrum Chillescent.
The thing is too, and they're a decent splash element now. kind of like wind is.
Yeah.
But like when you splash them, you're really only looking at like 5 cards.
Yeah, you're looking at Vivi, you're looking at Saban. And you're looking
Red
at
Mage
maybe,
usually.
maybe a few backups.
Elias.
Yep, and Belias. Like, that's it. And now, well, Phoenix, I think, is the new Phoenix, I think, is good.
Yeah, Phoenix. But it's only, that's like real particular. Actually, it's better when you just, I think it's better in elements outside of fire. Like, the best target right now, prior to Opus 6, is Vivi.
Yeah.
For fire.
And I think Guy adds to that a lot.
Yeah.
And I think again, you see cards in Opus 5 like Tella. I think that new Tella is such a great card. It's just such a beater where it's like, cool, I'm going to leave it up. I can either kill something that's 7K or I've got the S in my hand and I'm going to kill something big. You know what I mean? Like, I think Fire has a lot of directions it can go, and I really want to see more, but I think that what they're doing with the Rebels seems like they're headed in the right direction, but they need more than just Guy and Furion. Please, for the love of God, if they were smart, they would put most of the Rebels in the fire element. Just put Leon there. Just put Maria there. Just put a forward Minwu there. Put a fire Ricard there. Just put Joseph was another one, right?
Yeah.
Just make all of these guys fire and give them this really great 2 synergy and make it flavorful. The ones that died in the game, give them like the guy when they hit the break zone, or give them abilities to like sacrifice themselves to make the board bigger.
Yeah.
Like a card like I would love to see like Joseph, because he's the one who like gets crushed by the rock, like saving everybody.
Yeah.
Give me a fire Joseph that when he goes from the thing to the break zone, all of your forwards are unbreakable for the turn.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of does his other one. He breaks himself to make something unbreakable.
Yeah, but like do it for the whole board,
Yeah.
or remove him from the game.
It's
like don't tap, just remove him from the game.
It's just weird because I feel like if they do that, I mean, granted, yeah, if they do that and they're all good cards, Fire will become good because these cards are good.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, what happens to all the other Fire cards in like the last 5 sets?
Because they're all great for splashing. They're all great for like Saban's still going to be good.
I mean, Saban and Vivi, I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about like how can they make previous Fire cards better.
They're just going to have to. What they're going to have to do is they're going to have to really bite the bullet and realize that Fire just kind of sucked, and kind of just really start from like because that's kind of what they. I don't want to say it's what they did with Earth, but I think they need to give Fire the Earth treatment in this set. Like give them some forwards that put them over the top. Yeah, and then put the pieces together. Like, because like here's the thing, like with all these combat tricks, like that makes if they have more combat tricks, like forwards that do stuff, like that makes Marsh playable.
The issue with Marsh is that he's got to dull another guy.
Yeah,
it's tough. But like I feel like I hope that they stay true, and just give them stuff based on like what their thematically are. Mm-hmm. That's just good. Mm-hmm. Like. Vivi's good because he kills something and he's a body. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, he's small, but whatever. He's out now and he killed something.
And even if all the Rebels are good, I'm still playing Vivi. I'm still playing Saban. Like those guys are always going to be in there. And like Fire just needs something cohesive. They need something that is going to they can build a deck around, like an entire deck around, like. Because, like I said, with Fire Ice, you could build a 50-card Final Fantasy VI deck, and it would be it'd be very playable. Like, I think if Mono Fire is going to be what it needs to be, Final Fantasy II is going to be the key to that. Because I think I'd like to see something where, like, something that maybe synergizes with the guy, like something like maybe, or maybe make one of the... Maybe make a 2 backup, just to kind of keep going with like this rotating 4th character sacrifice theme. Sacrifice a forward you control to do something. So that means you're sacrificing Guy to, give this guy hexproof for a turn, or I'm going to sack him to do 8k to that guy or something. Then cool, then it's like cool. Now Guy's effect goes like they need stuff
with that though too.
Right, but they don't have shit to this point.
I understand that, but I'm just saying you got to be careful with that because then other elements are gonna you got to make it where like. Fire is going to play it, but that other elements just can't abuse it.
Yeah, like that's why it needs to be like specific to Final Fantasy 2. Like it needs to be like specific to Rebels or 2 or something. Like and they have to make it narrow, but they have to make it like almost tribal enough. And I think if Fire gets that, like I think that gives them an argument to like just start showing up at tournament tables again, like because and even the fire ice decks, man, there's 18 cards in the deck that are fire.
Barely. But it's like I said, it's the same cards that we just talked about. It's Sabin, it's Vivi, it's Belias, it's Red Mage and Ninja, and
they
and then at that point maybe a few other cards that some people like.
Yeah, like they need this rebel theme to really do something. Like, and I think they need to make it so that they are still doing damage, because even like if Minwu's out and the card says sack a 4 do control to do 8k to something, if it's a 9k,
why can't Fire have a backup destruction card?
Because they'd have an easy answer to Minwu. That's the problem.
Yeah, why is that bad?
Yeah, I guess, well, because really Fire's the only element that Minwu shits on.
Well, so here's the thing.
Well, no, I guess.
Well, here's the thing too. Like, I mean, he does good against Lightning as well, but like, he's not seeing much play right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Fire still ain't doing shit.
That's true.
It's just their pinging stuff's not strong enough.
Yeah, because forward bodies are getting bigger.
Yeah, it's like Lightning is good because it's like, okay, 6k dead.
Yeah,
Fire's like 2k.
Yeah.
It's like
2k, and I've got an understated guy who is probably going to die this turn.
Yeah, so and that's like I said, that's why Vivi's good, because Vivi's like 8k, 7k.
Yeah, and they need more stuff like that. Like I said, it sounds like it'd be powerful, but make it kind of narrow. Like sacrifice a category 2 or a rebel to do 8k to something, and then and then you can start giving these crazy effects.
Yeah. So now, I mean, like a fighting game reference, right? Like, you want your game to be balanced, right? Mm-hmm. But you also want characters to have tools that feel strong.
Yeah. You
don't want balance in a game where everything just feels stale, because then that shit's boring.
Mm-hmm.
But if everybody feels like they have something strong and there's a reason to play everything, that's balance.
Yeah.
So like you have to make things strong while balancing, because if everything's just weak and balanced, then it's boring.
Yep.
Because then you feel like you're not doing anything; you're just playing dudes. And it's not fun.
Give Fire a tutor. I think Fire needs a tutor specifically for Fire. Fire needs on-color support for their forwards. I think their summons are fine. Again, they're a little pingy. They're a little underwhelming. I think Phoenix is great. But again, he costs 7. Bahamut costs 9 and 4. Like they're good summons. The summons that really bring the fucking pain cost so much.
And no one's playing them because people are just... The only reason people are splashing Fire is for haste and...
Yeah. Because Belias is great.
And the 2 forwards that matter.
Yeah.
And making where shit can't block.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. And what I like to see... and this now makes potentially the older versions of Furion playable, especially like if they had... because all those Furions are rebels, correct? All the old Furions?
Pretty sure.
So, like, being able to, play the Furion that when it comes into play, deal 4k to something, have this card that says sacrifice, do 8k to something. So you've just done 12k to something, and then maybe by sacrificing that rebel, you've triggered something else. You know what I mean? Like, make it so, all these cards really synergize. And that would be super flavorful for the game because, they helped each other out. They did, and make it that sacrificial effect to save the rest of the team. Like, make that something that has some synergy, because it'll entice people to play these new cards, and which is kind of what Lightning needs. Like, why would I find room for Vivi in this deck other than the fact that he's really good? But when I've got this engine that's like, cool, I'm gonna sack this, do that. I can use Phoenix to recur this and do this. And you know what I mean? Like,
I'll tell you right now, if there's a backup that lets me KO something and deal 8k, Vivi sounds pretty fucking good.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm just saying.
But it would have to be they would have to say rebel. Like, if it said backup, I think, or just sacrifice a forward. Vivi would kill anything in the game. Yeah. Straight up. So it would have to say rebel specifically, and I think at that point it entices you to not play Vivi, which Vivi's great in any... I think he's hands down, I think one of the best forwards in the game just because of what he does. And he puts a body on the board, he's killing something, and then he's stopping damage. Yeah. He does everything you want him to do. And then you can get him back with Phoenix and other things. You can recur him with, you can get him back with fucking Devout and stuff like that, too. So he's a good card, really good card. But, getting this Rebel theme on point, I think that is what's going to turn Fire around. And I'm not going to say like, oh, it was this is not going to be my Opus 6 Sky Pirates. I think because Windwater didn't need Sky Pirates. I just wanted it because I'm a 12. I'm just a fucking 12 fanboy. Fire needs a Rebel engine that has a lot of neat synergies, and like they need cards with cohesion. They need it because that element is, other than a splash element, it's fucking unplayable, and I hate that.
Yeah, I mean, I've experimented with it. There's some cool things, but yeah, it's not like competitively good.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is just like Light and Dark is pretty quick. So, I mean, for me, I think they've done a pretty good job the last few sets of like Light and Dark cards and making them pretty playable.
Yo, for sure.
Kamlanat, Elder Narsh, really good. Well, we won't talk about that, but Vaughn is even pretty playable. I don't think he's great, but like, I mean, he's good enough to see play.
Yep.
And then even the set before that, you had Terra.
Yep.
And Kefka and Shadow Lord's a bit more niche, but
I wouldn't mind seeing light versions of certain characters, maybe like a light Cecil or because I think these light and dark cards are good for like main characters of games.
Yeah, I think that's kind of
like
what
the
they're going
beacon
for.
character of these games or the villain character of a game. I think that's where these cards belong. If they're doing that for two, maybe a light Furion's in the cards here.
Maybe. And I feel like they probably will, but my only issue with that is I feel like there's going to be other Furions too, and now you're just printing another one that probably won't maybe not see play.
Yeah, or maybe a light version of maybe a light Minwu or a light, even though he wasn't really a main character in the game, but like maybe a light Leon, maybe a light and dark Leon or something weird like that.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what they end up being because the games in this set that they've like said so far don't really give themselves very well to that light dark thing.
Yeah.
Because like Type 0 already has Ace.
Yeah.
And what else are you gonna make light from that?
Yeah, I could see them doing a dark card for one of the other armies. Yeah.
It probably will be Furion though.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much play it's going to see. Maybe it's good.
If it's a rebel and it can synergize with the fire cards, I'm all about it.
Yeah, I just hope they keep with what they've been doing the last couple sets because I feel like they've done a good job. Because I mean, shit, 4 months ago people were just like Emperors everywhere, and now like you see a lot of different stuff. People are going back to Zidane. You see Emperor. You see Kamlanat.
Yeah.
People are trying out Elder Narsh. You see Terra.
Yeah.
You see White Light, Warrior of Light,
Yeah. They need to keep making these cards playable and entice people to play them.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, like Opus 6 has a lot of neat stuff, and I clearly we'd like to see what the state of the game and what we'd like to see it be, because the game has so much potential to grow. Like, it's still in its infancy. We're still talking 6 sets, but we're still talking like.
Hey. It's being sold in like Targets and shit. Man.
Yeah, we're still like talking like year 2, year 3 of Magic. Like it's in the game still in its infancy, and like just some of these neat things that they could do. The amount of unplayable cards is going to increase tenfold over the next year, and
that just comes with any set.
Yeah,
you're gonna have cards that just don't see play. It's part of having a new set. Sadly, it's just how it goes.
It's the plight of a card game.
So with that, I think the last thing we want to talk about is the Thorn and Thorn Cup.
Yeah, we got that coming up in a couple weeks. It's the week after Toronto. I still don't know what deck I'm going to play. I may try Earth Fire again, but...
yeah, we're thinking about trying to defend... I'm thinking about maybe trying to defend the strat with this like a similar deck, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm still kind of low on it.
Yeah, it's just going to be a lot of testing. I saw the trophy today. It's a nice-looking trophy. So, I mean, I'd like to see that one come back to RVA too. I'd like to have it, on my mantle this time. But you know what? As long as the returners get the trophy, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. So, we'll see. I mean, I'm not really 100% sure what I'm running yet either.
Yeah, and I think because I wanted to spend some time. We've kind of gone a little bit longer than we like, but I wanted to talk about like a Earth Fire list just to kind of bring it up to speed. But I'd have to like really sit down and write it out.
Honestly, we can do a blitz deck of our own deck.
Why not? You just take the pile you took to. I need you to like be another person, like wear like a goofy hat with like glasses or something. Oh, the glasses and the mustache. You just wear that, and we got a deck coming in from. I don't know. We'll make up an alias for you. From Steve, and he sent us this Earth Fire pile.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Nothing wrong with that, man. I think that'd be fun.
I mean, we can do our own thing, and that way we can keep kind of making content too. And maybe we make a different video style where we just do our own thing. I'm not sure. figure out.
Yeah, there's just a lot to do. We're just getting started. Like I said, like we said again, thank you everybody. This is episode 10. And this is the 10 of many, many more. So, as long as this game's around, we're still going to keep doing content. So,
Definitely.
yeah. Well, with that being said, it's been an exhausting day. I've had a long day of cards and nerdery, and I'm ready to fall asleep.
Yep.
So thank you guys again for listening. If you have any questions, comments, or if you want to submit questions to us, we kind of want at this point where I think we have listeners that do tune in every week, which we thank you so much. If there are any questions, please submit them to us on Facebook, on Twitter, and we would love to do like a Q&A session, like a reader mail, returner mail.
Yeah, I mean that could become like another segment. Like we're gonna start trying to do news, so maybe we can also do like a Q&A thing. So yeah.
Breaking news.
So with that, yeah, again, you can always hit us with decks to do BlitzTech 4 on Twitter or on our Facebook page and whatnot. So I guess we'll talk to you next week.
See you guys.